Pupils can be late for a whole variety of reasons. You can often get an idea of the reasons for their lateness by the way they come into lessons. I think you need routines in place so that disruption to the lesson is minimised and pupils who are late can settle to learning quickly. I can then choose when and how I deal with any problems pupils might bring with them. Where lateness is a regular occurrence, I'll discuss it with the pupil and their form tutor to find out how I can help. My classes know I don't like lateness, but if there's a good reason for it, they know I'll be understanding.
So, Peter, have you remembered what your shape's called? Never mind, I'm sure it'll come back to you. Everyone else? If you think you know the answer, write it down on your whiteboards now.
I was dreading going into class today. It was nice that Miss just let me sit down next to my friend as quickly as possible. She told us what to do when we're late to her class, so I know I won't get into trouble.
I'm concerned about Sally. It looks like things may have come to a head for her. I hope she'll take up my offer of a chat.
When Sally came in late, Kath signalled to her to fill in the late slip and then sit in her allotted place. The late slips were in their usual place on Kath's desk, so it was easy for Sally to do this.
Have you remembered what your shape's called?
Kirsty moved out of Sally's seat and back to her allotted place in the seating plan. Kath prompted her with a nod. Because Sally settled herself down with Anita's help,
Everyone else?
Kath was not distracted from the needs of other learners. Kath's instructions were clear and positively framed. Pupils understood exactly what they needed to do.
Everyone else? If you think you know the answer, write it down on your whiteboards now.
As Kath continued teaching, she noticed Anita and Sally exchanging a few quiet words. Kath seemed reassured that Anita was helping Sally to settle into the lesson. She expected the rest of the class to give her their full attention. Once pupils were engaged in independent work, Kath glanced across to check that Sally was all right and that she and Anita had settled down to the task.
I like the way that Kath dealt with Sally's late arrival. Quite a few of our youngsters have to overcome significant difficulties in order to benefit from learning opportunities. Kath's professionalism and her interpersonal skills make her successful in maintaining high standards and ensuring all pupils achieve their learning potential. Although I'm very keen that teachers focus on their core purpose of teaching, I'm also anxious they should not neglect their pastoral responsibilities. It was because Kath had planned thoroughly and worked hard to establish a trusting relationship with the class that she managed to demonstrate concern both for Sally's welfare and the learning of all pupils. We've invested a lot of thought and energy in developing a pastoral system that meets the needs of all pupils and supports teachers. Sally, for example, has been spending time with Jill, our learning mentor, who often comes into her tutor group. Jill is supporting Sally and her family through some very difficult circumstances, so that Sally's learning suffers as little as possible. All staff contribute to our pastoral system, and heads of year liaise with form tutors and learning mentors to ensure that pupils, who can have many different needs, get the support they need at the right time.
The confident way that Kath dealt with this particular interruption showed the importance of a proactive approach to managing interruptions in the classroom so that learning is not compromised. Kath had a routine in place that enabled late arrivals to settle in quickly. Sally was late and obviously upset. Others in the class were clearly concerned about Sally, but they were confident that Kath would deal with the situation sensitively. Kath's lesson did not lose its flow or direction while she was settling Sally. The routines that she had established kept the lesson on track. Kath was able to signal unobtrusively that she wanted Sally to fill in the late slip and sit in her allotted place. Because attention was not focused on her, and she had the support of a fellow pupil, Sally was able to relax, settle quickly and confidently, and be ready to learn. Pupils in this class want to please the teacher. Kath has fostered a climate of mutual respect and a sense of belonging within the group, and has communicated her expectations that pupils will support each other. Pupils know that Kath values mature and responsible actions, so Anita knew that Kath would acknowledge and appreciate her efforts to support Sally.